How's it going, everyone? Joe Wager here, back with another one. Today we're checking out Nyle Sheriff and Gerd Cantor. I have actually been helping out Nyle for a while now, over a year, and his progress is more than impressive. So, Nyle, before I start into this, I want to say it's amazing what you've done. I know you've been busting your back out there working, and it's showing. So awesome job, dude. Super proud, and I love the progress. Let's do our usual 3 throws. Let's watch 3 Gerd, 3 Nyle, and then we'll move on. Before I move on, this is an interesting video I picked. I picked it because of the lower body. His lower body is fantastic in this. You probably saw that and were like, that's weird. He hits his high point relatively late in here. I mean, he usually likes it on the left sector, but it just looks funky because he seems to release so low, but when you slow it down, he's releasing about parallel. So it just looks funky because of his orbit, but it's still an awesome throw. I believe this was like 70 meters. Let's check out Nyle. See if I can move that up. All right, let's get to it. First thing, I'm going to go through and let's compare the different points when certain feet come off or come into contact with the ground. Boom. Frame before loss of contact and frame before loss of contact. Okay. That's awesome. Nothing else to say there. Let's move on to when this foot leaves the ground and when this foot leaves the ground. Okay. I see. So there's something I see I'm going to come back to in a sec. Let's keep going to when this foot comes into contact and this foot comes into contact. I'll just say right now, this foot is late. Dang it, I lost it. This foot, his heel is still closer to me than this knee, whereas Gerd, these are about equal distance from the camera, if you know what I mean. Let's move on though. And we have contact, and we have contact. You see what I'm saying? Let's start back and go over some important things. So now I watched this video a few times, and I believe you've been having this issue for a while. I see something that I think is totally helpful. Let's watch Nyle's sweep leg. It comes out. He hits extension out here, thinking, oh, that looks awesome. He pulls it in with the inside of his foot. Awesome job. But he's unable to really get into the center of the circle. He's left out here. You're probably wondering, why is that? Well, I have the key. Check this out. First, I want to show you, when does this foot hit extension or its furthest extension? Probably anywhere around here. For my sake, let's say right here. When does Gerd hit extension? Boom. A little sooner. So when he hits extension, his heel is pointing, or his foot is, his tib fib is pointing that way. Yours is pointing kind of that way. You're hitting extension a little late, and I'm going to show you what ends up happening. Once you pull it in, you can't really pull it in because when you hit that extension, it kind of, how do I explain this? You're driving your body out that way in the direction of your leg, out this way. So when you pull it in, everything is, it's gonna, it's a counterweight. Everything's gonna switch places a little bit. So that foot comes in, your body comes out here a little bit. Gerd, though, when he extends that leg and he starts to pull it in, he can still go straight forward. He's not hitting that extension and then pulling it out here. If he did, his body would come this way a little more, and he would be forced to put the foot down a little bit early. So now what I'm telling you to do is, this is okay. You don't have to further extend it after this. After this, though, start to pull it in. Bring that heel straight in that direction. Look, he right from here, that heel comes straight in. Yours still comes way out here, though, and that causes you trouble. When your heel comes out that far, it is impossible to bring it all the way in. You got to be very strong, very coordinated, and it's kind of a waste of energy, which is why no one does that. So, boom, he's right here, and he goes straight down the left sector line like that. That's something you can think about, is drive this heel down the left sector line from right here. Don't go around any further. Instead, boom, to the left sector line. Like that, to the left sector line. So I think that's what's causing you to land out there. Let's keep looking. Dude, the orbit, awesome. Very good. Discus should stay a little higher right here. It drops down a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's not a huge deal. You're going to be able to get away with that. So don't prioritize that. Though it is kind of easy to work on, so go ahead and start working on it. This high point, you have one of the best orbits I've seen. You're hitting your high point up here, right sector line, perfect. Actually, no, I mixed that up. I was just working with the lefty. You want to hit it up here, though I think one of the reasons you're hitting it a little early might have to do with how you're not getting into the middle of the circle as well. So, sorry for that mistake, guys. Let's get the high point up here, which is going to be easier once you fix that sweep out of the back, pulling you that direction. So, still awesome job. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Let's look at low point. It comes down pretty low here. Where's our low point at? I would say low point is one of these two. And then a solid release. Let me check out this left arm. So a lot of coaches would say, oh, I don't like how the left arm comes up like this. There's this dude I know. I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce your last name. Gavin Paas, P-A-A-S, Estonian dude I'm buddies with. What's funny is Gerd is currently helping to coach him, and he does almost the exact same thing with his left arm. Left arm comes up like this. He does a better job at kind of getting that arm in. He tightens up a little bit more, pulling the arm across his body instead of ripping it open like you are now. But he does a very similar thing here. I used to do a similar thing. I thought it was disgusting, and I wasted a lot of my time trying to fix it, when in reality it was probably much more helpful than it was not. So if anyone ever says, hey, fix this, don't worry too much about it. In the future, if you have a chance to fix it, you might want to consider it. You want the orbit of your left arm to be very similar to your right, which this obviously, that's your high point right here with your left arm, and you end up bringing it down from there and then back up. So that's funky. It might be a waste of energy, but I'm telling you right now, don't waste too much time trying to fix this, because it's doing the job. It's getting the job done. You're separated well here, and you're able to rip that left arm around. So good job, Nyle. Don't get too freaked out. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I need to fix that. Just let it be. Let's watch Gerd's left arm here. So it kind of rips open. It comes down right here. Where's yours at? Yours comes up, down. So I wouldn't worry about that. That's more of that's more of Gerd's inner John Powell. That left arm coming down. Watch how left arm is not moving right here. Left arm is not moving. It's floating through the air. Then, boom, rips open. He starts ripping open all the way from right. Right here is when he starts ripping open. Let's check out Nyle. What I'm seeing here, everything's really good. Look at that. That left arm kind of stops very excellently. That's not a word. Does an excellent job at stopping, but it hesitates. It waits a little too long to rip open, and when it does rip open, it's that long lever. The Tom Walsh left arm. Dare I say the Joe Wager left arm, because I do that crap all the time. I hate it. My finish in half my videos is like this rather than boom. So I have the same issue, man. It's a pain in the freaking butt to work on that left arm. It's the hardest thing in the discus throw for me is working on that left arm. So, I like how long it is here. Start to shorten it as you rip it around. Start ripping it around sooner. Let's check out the finish, because there's some stuff I see here. All right. This left foot, that's your right foot, my bad. Let's watch this. So, I'm starting to figure out it's not really a huge deal if that foot turns before it comes off the ground. It is a huge deal, though, that foot turns before you release the discus. So, I'm totally chill with the foot coming off the ground before you turn it and then you throwing. But get that foot turning right here. I see you pushing the ground. That's the biggest thing. You're pushing the ground away here. Keep doing that, but now those hips need to turn, because let's look at your point of release. That's weird. That is interesting. Let's compare our point of release. Your hips, let's say you have a laser coming out of your hips, okay? Your laser looks like it's pointing over here, not bad. That chest is This is all hypothetical what I'm about to say, but the reason your foot might not be able to turn is because your chest is opening up so hard and late. The only thing you're pushing against right now is your lower body. So that might be what's causing your lower body to really stop, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's going to happen. It's kind of how it works. Yours is just a little misplaced in timing. Let's look at Gerd. Look at him. If everything is pointing down the left sector, even his head is looking down there. You got your hips pointing forward. Your chest is a little opened up. I'll give you that and that. At the end of the throw, you're using your upper body with, how do I explain this? The whole goal of the throw is to get your lower body way ahead right before the finish, so that when it's so ahead of your upper body, when your lower body is so ahead of your upper body, you have that much more room, elastic energy to unleash into the discus. You see Gerd here has a lot, and he pushes his hips, turns them so far forward that he's not really pushing the disc. That disc is, his upper body is just being thrown around by his lower body. What you see here is, you get those hips turning, but then you try to just hit it forward instead of continuing to turn the hips. Like I said, this is kind of hypothetical. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. This is just how I'm thinking about this right now. The hips never reach that getting ahead separation. They never are able to build a lot of separation. What you end up having is your upper body forcing the discus really hard at the last second, which is why I think you have your chest coming around while your hips stay where they are. If someone's watching this and thinks that's the stupidest thing in the world, you might be right. That might be the stupidest thing in the world. But I think there's something to that. I think that's might be what's causing this funky looking finish. Now, what I would tell you is work the freaking hips, work the lower body, and I think this all starts with the sweep in the back. Get the sweep fixed. That's going to get you from here to here to here to here. It's going to get you a better stance, and I think that's going to help you turn those hips way sooner and way harder, which will take care of the upper body. That's everything I have for you. I think that covers definitely enough for you to work on. I hope that helps, man. Give you a list of things. Get to work on them and keep working. Guys, I hope you appreciate this video. Subscribe, like, share your buddies, do whatever. But thank you for watching. And if you want a technical analysis, message me on Instagram. Bye, guys.